Welcome back to game number 2 of today's doubleheader. If you weren't with us, game 1, Chattanooga State walked it off with a grand slam in the bottom of the 9th. They were down 10-8 coming into the bottom of the 9th. Ty Newton, who started the game on the mound, also the DH, collected his 6th home run of the year with the bases loaded and walked it off with one out in the bottom of the 9th. They get the victory 12-10. As you see, the Tigers taking the field here for game number 2. If they were to get the victory here, then they would win the series and get into the 6-team playoff. That is the TCCAA Conference Tournament now. That's going to be held at Columbia State May 5th through May 8th. Let's get you the Toyota of Gallatin starting lineups. First for Vol State, Braden Baker in left field leading off. Batting second, Gabe Eddington is a DH. Easton Denning at first base, batting third. Hudson Blank in right field will bat fourth. Batting fifth is Elijah Harris, the second baseman. Batting sixth, Noah Rice in center field. Tucker Smith moves up to the 7 hole. He's going to play third base. Jonathan Stewart behind the plate for game 2. He'll hit 8th, and Revin Suggs back in that 9 hole. Out at shortstop on the mound for Vol State, freshman Ian McCord from Davidson Academy. For Chattanooga State, I'll give you their defensive alignment as Chandler Richardson is on the mound for Chattanooga State. He's a freshman from Sumter, South Carolina, 6'1", 205-pound right-hander, on for his 14th appearance of the year. It's his 5th start. Has a 3-3 record. According to my calculations, looking at it before game 1 when I found out that he was the starter here in game 2, did not start a game against Vol State in the 3-game series back in the middle of February. In left field, Tyler Schaefer, who played first in game 1. Coleman Neese back in center field. Tyler Husky back out in right. Ty Newton moves from pitching in DH spot to third base. Taylor Head back at short. Ben Morgan at second. The new first baseman was game 1's third baseman. That's Logan Wallace. He'll be at first. And Luke Swinney catching both ends of the doubleheader. He is behind the plate. Chat got their 30th win of the year against 15 losses. Vol State falls to 21-29 overall. Need to win the next 2 games to stay playing this season. If they lose, this will end the Vol State season. We are ready for action here in the top of the first. Braden Baker to lead off. Hit a solo home run, his 14th of the year in game 1. That gave Vol State the 10-8 lead in the 7th inning. Could not hold it and could not add on to it in the 8th or 9th. Richardson delivers. That's the first pitch in there for a called strike as we are underway. Game time at 4:49 Eastern. Game time temperature 70 degrees, brought to you by Accurate Mortgage. Line drive right to Ben Morgan, and Braden Baker's bad luck of line drives continues. He hit a sinking line drive in the 9th that Morgan caught as he was playing Baker up the middle. Baker finished 1 for 5 in game 1. Gabe Eddington was 2 for 6. Looks at a pitch that misses somewhere. Gabe, the DH, was warming up in the bullpen in the 9th, but was not called upon. He is a two-way player. Check swing that he could not hold up. Richardson set position. Eddington missed that one by a foot, looks like. Expecting that pitch to come a little bit closer to the plate. Does not. Richardson, 28 in the third innings, giving up 42 hits. Did not start till the latter part of the season. That's fouled out of play. A Chick-fil-A at Gallatin. Foul ball. It starts against Roan, Pellissippi, Cleveland, and Southwest Tennessee toward the end of the year. Presto Sports shows him with a 3-2 record, and Gabe Eddington has just got rung up. First two retired by Chandler Richardson. Only 4 strikeouts by Chat State pitching in game 1. Eddington struck out twice in that game. He went 2 for 6, scored a run. Easton Denning was 2 for 3 in the game. He was on base 5 times. Walked twice and was hit by a pitch. Looks at ball 1. Going to get, do you see that round circle there? That is the reflection off of the window. We're broadcasting inside of the press box, and this is one of the press boxes that do not have windows that open. Building a new press box back at Tim Garrett Baseball Complex, and they're getting tired of hearing me say, make sure those windows can open, make sure the windows can open. I'm assured by Dr. Wendy Tossinson that the press box, the new press box windows will be able to open. That's fisted over to the only person on the left side of the infield, that's Ty Newton, and he throws over to Wallace to retire the side. Never had a 1-2-3 inning in game 1 by either team, but the first half inning of game 2 is a 1-2-3 inning. Head to the bottom of the first. Vol State doesn't want to have a repeat of game 1. Chat scored 6 in the bottom of the first. See if Ian McCord can shut it down quickly. You're listening to the Vol State Sports Network. Ian McCord on for his 13th appearance, all starts. He leads the club in starts. He and Nick Godsey battling along for the first portion of the year. Godsey had 9 appearances, 9 starts, but then came up injured, has not pitched in the last week or last month. McCord has continued at a great start here at Chat back in mid-February in the first conference series of the year. And he pitched to a 1-0 loss in that first conference series. Thought I had the right page pulled up. 4 innings, 2 hits, 1 run allowed. He took the loss. Comes in with a 2-6 record as Ben Morgan steps in. The first pitch looks like it handcuffed Jonathan Stewart behind the plate like he wasn't expecting it. Looked like a pretty good pitch. Apparently called a ball. Ground ball to the left side. That's going to get in the hole. Ben Morgan's going to reach on an infield single. Was held hitless in game one. Did get hit by a pitch. His conference leading 32nd hit by pitch. Now Ty Newton, the hero of game one for Chat State, just gets plunked. He'll hobble on down to first base. Well, not the start Ian McCord had hoped. Carson Pack started game one, and it went off the rails pretty early. A lot of 5 walks in the first inning. As now Tyler Schaefer stands at the plate. He sees a pitch sail wide. Schaefer had a double in the 8th, but next 3 batters could not push him around. He was stranded there. 1 for 3 in game one. Walked twice. Nearly hit with that inside pitch. Schaefer from Portland, Tennessee, Portland High School. Ground ball chopped to the right side. Harris will do well to get 1 out, and he will. That's a swing and bunt. That moves both runners up a base. And that's out number 1. So an infield single and a hit batter have runners and a ground out. Now have runners at second and third. Logan Wallace, a cleanup batter, steps to the plate. Pitch down in the turf. Just getting started. Game 2. Chat State come from behind victory in game 1, 12-10. Check swing, and a pitch is called a strike. Wallace from Ooltewah, Tennessee. He's a sophomore. 1 hit in game 1. Swing and a miss. Cord looking for that strikeout. 1-2 pitch. Popped up over the press box. Let me get that out up on the score bug. Missing Dawson Sweetland, the director for most of the year at Vol State. This is the first road broadcast. That one's also fouled out of play. I did keep the score bug and have to do the camera switching for all softball games. So it's not like I didn't do it during the year, but it was really nice to do a baseball game in a baseball press box. 1-2 pitch. Logan Wallace does not move, and Jonathan Stewart does not shove him out of the way to pick up that baseball, which it's his prerogative if he wants to. He did not choose violence. 2-2 pitch. That's a base hit in the left field. Chat State's going to take the early lead. Baker's just going to try to pick it up and then drop it. 2 runs are going to come in. And Chattanooga State takes the early lead again. Two singles, a hit batter, and a ground out. Coleman Neese looks at a ball outside. Neese 3 for 5 in game 1. Picked up 3 RBIs. Scored once. Throw over to first. Wallace is back. you aren't with us in game one, neither team steals a lot of bases. Ball State had one stolen base and one caught stealing. That was basically on a pickoff. It was Elijah Harris both times. Nice from Smyrna, Tennessee is Stewart's Creek. I think they were the Red Hawks. As McCord's now gone 3 balls and no strikes to the center fielder with Taylor Head on deck. Four-pitch walk to Nease. N-E-A-S, Nease. And some moving around in the Vol State dugout already. Said McCord went 4 innings, gave up 2 hits, 1 run, and 3 walks, 2 strikeouts in that game back on February 13th. There's another base hit in the left field by Head. Baker charges, but that's going to be a 3-0 lead. And runners stay at first and second. RBI single for Taylor Head, who did not get a hit in game one. He was 0 for 4. Trevor Muzzi will come out of the Ball State dugout to have a chat with Ian McCord. 3 hits given up in the inning, hit batter and a walk. Chat scored 6 runs in the bottom of the first of game one, have scored 3 here in game 2 and are still threatening. Game 1 was 6 runs on 2 hits. There were 5 walks and a hit batter in that first inning in game 1. Ball State came back to take the lead 9-8 and then 10-8. Gave up the lead and the victory to Chat State with a grand slam home run by Ty Newton in the bottom of the 9th. Now the 7-hole hitter DH Hunter Rather stands in. He played left field in game 1. Two hits in 4 official plate appearances. Now 2 balls and no strikes. Is Gabe Eddington back loosening in the Vol State bullpen. Fouled out of play. Off to the right. Toward the end of the game, I posed that there was so many Clarksville players. There's a swing and a miss there. Count goes 2 balls, 2 strikes. Paul Smith said Scotty Dean was that third Rossview player I couldn't remember. Transfer from right here in Chat State, as a matter of fact. 2-2 pitch. Swing and a miss. McCord gets the strikeout for out number 2. Now the 8th batter in the lineup, Tyler Husky, the right fielder, steps to the plate. 1 for 2 in game 1 with 3 walks. Takes a called strike. Foul ball makes the count 0-2. On deck, Luke Swinney. All 9 batters in game 1 for Chat State scored at least 1 run. Two runners on, 2 outs, and a Ground ball, base hit up the middle. That'll score another run. Rice up with it, gets it back in the infield. RBI single for Husky. And it's 4-0. And out of the dugout comes Jim McGuire. He's going to make a change. He's going to say the DH is now pitching. So we have a call to the bullpen. Summit Concrete call to the bullpen. Gabe Eddington will come on in relief here in the first inning. Two-way player. Eddington, a transfer from Austin Peay State University. Getting his first time on the mound in a little bit. See if we can find that information. We'll just keep it right here. Not playing commercials today, not messing with that. I don't have my cord that works on the computer where I can hear when the commercials are going to end. I have a way that I can figure it out, but making it easier for me. That way I can concentrate on other things. His last appearance was at Walter State, 1 2/3 innings, 1 hit, no runs, struck out a batter. Prior to that, 2 innings in the loss to Motlow State back in mid-April. 2 innings, 3 hits, 2 runs. He took the loss in that game. Don't think. Well, I was wrong. He got the start in that game. But he is on in relief of Ian McCord, who goes 2/3 of an inning, gives up 4 hits, 4 runs to this point. 2 runners on base are his responsibility. Did not walk a batter, but did plunk one. Struck out a batter. Luke Swinney, the catcher, number 9 hole hitter, steps in that left-handed batter's box. Swinney walked and was hit by a pitch on base 4 times in game 1. 0 for 1. .63", 195-pound sophomore from Dalton, Georgia, catching game 2 after catching game 1. Changeup swung on and missed. Other action today, Pellissippi State got the 1-0 victory over Dyersburg in game 1 of their 3-game series. Cleveland State finished up Motlow State 7-3. They'll move on to the 6-team tournament. Ground ball to Suggs. He's going to glove and flip the short way to Harris to end the inning. Chattanooga State scores 4 runs on 4 hits, no errors, 2 runners left aboard. A lead 4-0 as we head to the second. We'll be right back on the Ball State Sports Network. Tim Reese on the Vol State Sports Network. First road broadcast of the year. Hoping today is not the last day. Hudson Blank, Elijah Harris, and Noah Rice to face Chandler Richardson. And Blank gets plunked on the first pitch he sees. The 5th hit batter of the year by Richardson. Only the second time that Blank has been hit by a pitch. And here's one of the Toyota of Gallatin co-players of the game in Game 1. Elijah Harris, 4 for 5 in Game 1. Scored 3 runs. Hit a solo home run, a double. Drove in 2. Looks at a fastball up. 4 for 5 in that game. He and Drew Moorhead, the right-hander out of Clarksville, who went 4 innings of 2-hit shutout baseball. Our Toyota of Gallatin co-players of the game. Fastball misses somewhere. Ball State went down in order in the top of the first. Have Hudson Blank on at first, leading off the second. That's drilled to left field. Tyler Schaefer, he misplayed that one. It's going to one-hop the fence. Blank's going to cruise into third base, and now he's going to head for home. Head with the throw, and not in time. Blank with a hustle run scored. The throw came in from Schaefer, and Head could not handle it. Let's see who we're going to give that error to. That's a throw that's in the ground, so it will be an error on the throw from Schaefer. And Vol State scores their first run. No RBI to Harris. Right now it's an unearned run as Noah Rice stands in. It may become earned later depending on what happens. Noah Rice at the plate. Looks at ball 1. Blank was going to be settling in at third, but as soon as he saw the ball get away from Taylor Head, the shortstop, he hustled on in, and Head's throw was to the outfield line. That's a line drive into center field. They will send the runner. Harris rounds the bag. The throw is cut off, and just like that, Vol State has 2 of those 4 back. Noah Rice with an RBI single. That makes the run earned now. So back-to-back hits brought to you by Hit After Hit. That's Rice's first hit of the day. He went 0 for 3. Tucker Smith was 1 for 4 in Game 1. He had a big 3-run home run, his 7th of the year. Takes a healthy hack there, comes up empty. Still nobody out here in the second. Chandler Richardson on the mound for Chattanooga State as they try to end the series today. Claimed Game 1 victory 12-10. Elijah Harris absolutely drilled that ball to left field. Tyler Schaefer, who played first base in Game 1, this ball out of the glove of Swinney. He must have thought he had it. That'll be a pass ball that allows Rice to move down to second. I thought time had been called. I looked out. I can't hear what's happening, and Swinney looked like he was looking at an umpire to see if time had been called. As a delayed strike call there. Plate umpire had time to flip a coin, and it came up strike. Smith, the third baseman, is the 7 batter in the lineup. That's lined into right field. That's down for a base hit. maybe extra bases. Smith is not stopping at first. He will cruise into second base with a do-dat double to drive in his former high school teammate, his former Belmont Bruin teammate, as I am woefully behind on my runs scored. Let's get that up. Back-to-back-to-back hits as Richardson will get a visit from pitching coach Mark Spears. By Mark, I mean Mike. Twin brother Mark is not here. Just kidding, I make that up. I don't know if he's got a twin or not. I do, and he is not here either. So a hit by pitch to Hudson Blank, a double by Elijah Harris into left field, and a misplay by left fielder Tyler Schaefer. Ball one-hopped the fence, but then Schaefer's throw into the cutoff man was bounced. And as soon as Blank saw the ball get by Head, he came on home. Rice drove in Harris. Smith has driven in Rice, and now Jonathan Stewart at the plate with a tying run out at second base. Stewart looks at a called strike. Smyrna Bulldog. Transfer from Daytona State. Did not play in game one. Jonathan comes in hitting .270, playing in game number 14. 10 hits, including a double, 3 home runs, 7 RBIs. He's clearly got the power to drive it out of this big ballpark. And he took a home run cut there. It came up empty. Ball State with 3 home runs in game one. Solo home run by Braden Baker and Elijah Harris, and a 3-run shot by Tucker Smith. Only 1 home run of the game for Chat State, but it was a big one. Walk-off grand slam home run by Ty Newton. His 6th of the year. He didn't get the win on the mound, but he got it on a walk-off winning home run. On deck, Revan Suggs. Still nobody out here in the top of the second inning. Stewart looks at ball 3 of a Full Count Ministries. Full Count. He was a member of the Full Count Rhythm baseball team this past summer that won the championship in the Ohio Valley League. We'll be gearing up for the OVL broadcast here in a month. Full count pitch as Smith leads off a second. It's inside. Jonathan reaches on ball 4. First walk of the game for Richardson, who retired the first 3 batters he faced in the first, but has not gotten an out here in the second. And he won't get an opportunity as Greg Dennis, the head coach, is out of the dugout, and he's making a call to the bullpen. We'll have a right-hander. Looks like that's number 3 coming out. Benny Miller, 5'10", 170-pound freshman from Knoxville Farragut High School. Come in with nobody out, runners at first and second. Is Richardson. Last 1+ innings. Gives up 3 hits, 3 runs. Currently, they're all 3 earned. Walked 1, struck out 1, and plunked 1, faced 8. See what kind of statistical accomplishments Mr. Miller has. 5.21 ERA, 19 innings, giving up 15 hits, 12 runs. Has walked 17 and struck out 20. He will face left-handed hitting Revan Suggs with Smith at second. That would be Tucker and Jonathan Stewart. two players that have teammates with the same last names. Tucker Smith and Aiden Smith, the Rossview Hawk, and Jonathan Stewart and Nathan Stewart. Stewie and Stu. Stewie's the pitcher. From Central Magnet High School. Got a lot of players from Murfreesboro on both teams. Murfreesboro apparently is the new Clarksville. Benny Miller finished with his warm-up tosses. Suggs, a couple of hits in game one. Also a walk. He looks at a pitch that just misses outside. Ben and Lori, his parents are here. Ben listening in on the YouTube channel. Gets it a little bit delayed. Pretty much the same pitch right there, this time called a strike. Ref 2 for 4, scored a run, drove in a run, also drew a walk. Chat State gave up 6 walks, 2 hit batters in game one as Suggs swings through the next offering. Ball State unofficially 12 walks and 2 hit batters in game one. 14 free base runners out of 47 that came to the plate. Hard to win games. Miller tried to sneak a fastball by Revin that time, but it landed low and away. Suggs with an open stance. That front foot, the right foot, is a little farther away from the plate than the back foot that's right on that white line. And he swings and misses at a pitch outside the zone for the first out in the second. Back to the top of the lineup, Braden Baker lined out to Ben Morgan, the second baseman, for the second time today. Got a chance to tie it or put Vol State up. It is 14th home run in game one. Takes a strike right down Broadway. Former Paducah Chief, he and Easton Denning, Drew Moorhead, played together in the OVL last year. 5'11", 180-pound redshirt freshman, swings and misses. He's a Murfreesboro native, Eagleville High School, former Mr. Baseball a couple of times at Eagleville. So they won championships. Scott and Courtney Baker, his parents, Kalen. The throw back to second nearly went into center field. Miller with a hop on the mound. He's pretty happy he didn't deliver that one over the glove of Morgan. Not all that tall himself. Grandpa and Grandma for Braden Baker in Mount Juliet. 0-2 pitch missed just outside. Tough pitch to take right there. Pawpaw's in Springfield. Nana is in Gleason, Tennessee. He's looking for a 4-year opportunity. Transfer from Murray State. Another close pitch taken for ball 2. Benny Miller from one of the top programs in the state, Farragut Admirals, just west of Knoxville, Tennessee. I think they've won 4 straight. They got 4A, Team 4A championships. Swing and a miss, and Baker is out with the occupied first base. So back-to-back strikeouts for Miller, who's coming in relief of Chandler Richardson. Gabe Eddington, who struck out looking in the first, steps to the plate. Looking for a big hit here with 2 outs. Nice stop by Swinney on a ball spiked in the turf. Everything's natural except the ring around home plate. That's artificial. Apparently Greg Dennis doesn't like taking care of home plate. That's a chopper to third. Newton's going to try to go to second. They're not going to get him. He's safe. Good hustle play there by Jonathan Stewart to get in before the throw. Not sure if they said that he didn't catch it. I think Stewart beat the throw, and the bases are loaded. Umpire looked like he was waiting long enough to see if the catch was made. So Eddington reaches on a fielder's choice. Like Newton did not want to throw it across the diamond. Maybe his arm's hurting from pitching. Not sure how many pitches he threw, but the 9th batter to come to the plate, Easton Denning with the bases loaded and 2 out. Holds up on the first pitch he sees from Miller. Called a ball. Hudson Blank, who led off with a hit by pitch, standing in the on-deck area hoping to get an at-bat. Popped up. That will get over to the tennis courts. Chick-fil-A Gallatin foul ball. Ball State staying in Hickson, Tennessee. Stayed there last night. We'll stay there again tonight. Hoping that they will be back here tomorrow for Game 3. There is a Chick-fil-A in Hickson. That slider bends on that outside corner, and Miller gets ahead 1-2. Denning chopped a ground ball to Newton, who's the only fielder on the left side of the infield. Taylor Head on the right side of second base, so you can see him on your screen. Morgan's in shallow right field, and the outfield pulled way around. Denning takes a ball outside. Schaefer playing shaded to the left center field gap. Husky pulled around not quite as far over in right field, but center fielder Coleman Neese is way over in right center field. Miller comes in and shuts the door, strikes out 3 of the 4 batters that he faces. Ball State gets back in the ball game with 3 runs. They're earned 3 straight hits, 1 error that did not figure, and 3 left on base. 4-3 as we head to the bottom of the second. You're listening to the Vol State Sports Network. Gabe Eddington back out on the mound. For the bottom of the second is Chattanooga State. Sent 9 to the plate in the first. They'll have the top of their order here for the second inning. Each of the starters for both teams are out of this game already. Ian McCord for Vol State and Chandler Richardson for Chattanooga State. Four runs, 4 hits for the Tigers. 3 runs, 3 hits for Ball State. They did not put an error up on the scoreboard here at the field for the errant either throw by Tyler Schaefer or errant catch by Taylor Head that allowed Hudson Blank to come in to score. Ben Morgan had an infield single to lead off the bottom of the first. Looks at a called strike. And that sunshine coming right in my window here off to the right. And that's what's showing that shadow that you see on the screen. It's going to be right in my eye here for about the next 2 hours, I think. Do appreciate Greg Dennis and the hospitality here. I do have an air conditioner behind me, so I'm reasonably comfortable other than that big ball in the sky pointing right at my right eye. They don't pay me the big bucks for nothing, though. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Morgan, the freshman from Prague, Czech Republic. Breaking pitch lands down low. Typically when I start a series, I take the roster into the opposing dugout and try to find somebody to help me with enunciations or pronunciations of names. Swing and a miss on the changeup and a strikeout for Eddington. I try to find somebody who English is their first language. I was successful again today. Caden Hawksworth, a freshman from Dunn Acres, Indiana, helped me out. But then Ben Morgan walked by, and they said, "Don't ask him." And I said, "What's up with him?" And he said, "Well, he's not from this country." I said, "Oh, okay. Is he the pin cushion? He's the human target?" Swung on and skied out to center field. Noah Rice makes the catch off of the bat of Ty Newton. He was hit by a pitch, his first plate appearance. Now it's Tyler Schaefer's turn. I didn't really hear him talk. I assume he speaks English pretty well. Maybe he's been in the United States a long time. I don't know. All I know is that one stroked into center field. So, again, no 1-2-3 inning for Vol State pitching, and it's the 11th inning today. Schaefer now 1 for 2. He leads the conference in hit by pitches, does Ben Morgan, by a long shot. And he got hit in game 1, so that's 32 for him. Logan Wallace drove in 2 runs with a single in the first. And he lines one in the center field. That's down for a base hit. He's 2 for 2. He's not waiting. He's hacking at the first pitch he sees. Coleman Neese, 5'9", 165-pound freshman. A Creeker from Stewart's Creek. Had a number of Creekers come through Vol State in the 5 years that I've been there. Did not have one. Had one at the start of the fall. But he did not last. Blocked by Jonathan Stewart, who's close to Stewart's Creek. Smyrna. First year I started broadcasting in the spring of 22, there was 5. As that slider misses inside. Sometimes I try to remember, just to utilize the brain power. Try to remember their names. 2-1 pitch, catches the outside corner. Caleb Hawkins was one, a catcher. Will Trapp, left-handed pitcher. Cam Matting, who went on to, did he go to Freed Hardman? Sliced foul. Connor Moss. Who am I forgetting? They brought along their buddy Michael Franklin, who was a team manager, so to speak. 2-2 pitch is high. Full count Ministries, full count. Had a good number from Clarksville as well. As ball 4 and the bases are loaded after the first 2 were retired. Eddington came on in relief of Ian McCord in the first. Was able to get Luke Swinney to ground into a force out. The only batter he faced in the first. Struck out Morgan, got Newton to fly out, but single walk as the bases loaded as Taylor Head, who single, drove in a run, fouls that one off and out of play. So Schaefer now is down at third base, commiserating with his head coach, Greg Dennis. Logan Wallace out at second, Coleman Neese at first base. That's softly hit to Suggs. He's going to go to second base again. And Elijah Harris steps on the bag as Head grounds into the fielder's choice. Again, the inning ends with a little toss from Suggs to Harris. The Strand 3. No runs, 2 hits in the inning. No errors. We are through 2. We're scheduled for 9. And Chattanooga leads 4-3. We'll be right back. Moving to the top of the third, Benny Miller back out on the mound. He struck out 3 of the 4 batters that he faced as he came on in relief in the second inning for Chandler Richardson. Hudson Blank will lead off the third as he led off the second for Vol State. Hudson Blank, Elijah Harris, Noah Rice. The Columbia State Chargers have finished off Jackson State. Had a mercy rule game yesterday. Won today 10-5. After getting a 14-3 win in 6 innings in yesterday's action. So Columbia State, Cleveland State in already, along with Walter State, as Blank looks at a called strike. Hudson, a big heads-up play, running the bases in the second inning. Would have ultimately come in and scored anyway, but takes a hack, and he is pulling that head out big time there. Has not looked comfortable at the plate all day. Went 1 for 6 with an infield single in game one. Seemed like a quick pitch there. Miller does not get the call. Chopper to the left side. Taylor Head on 2 hops, gloves, and a bullet throw, but it got by and hit off of the fence. Hudson Blank in his turn fell down, but got back up. Got down to second base. Luke Swinney, the catcher, went down to back up that throw. Logan Wallace fell down while he was trying to make the catch on Head's missile that he threw. So an E6 allows Blank to reach second base. Second error of the game for the Tigers. First one ended up not hurting them. Squaring around a bunt, pulling it back is Harris, who doubled. He had an absolute bullet out the left field that Tyler Schaefer had no idea where that ball was going to land. It was going to be over his head, and now he's playing about 10 feet shy of the warning track in left field. Fastball winks at the outside corner for a called strike. Harris has 5 hits on the day. He's 5 for 6. Have you a doubleheader, big man? He was my pick before the season started to be the sleeper to come out, really have a great year at the plate. He has been the Toyota of Gallatin player or co-player of the game several times in the last couple of weeks. He swings with aggression. Coming out of that 5'8" frame. 1-2. It's lifted high out to center field, but coming into shallow center field is Coleman Neese. He loses his lid but makes the catch for the first out in the third. Only the second time all day that Harris has been retired. Noah Rice single, drove in a run in the second. He stands in from Gallatin, Tennessee. Hits ground ball right to short, and Hudson Blank trying to play chicken with Taylor Head. Head concentrating on the throw to first base, though. Looked like Taylor could have just reached out and tugged Blank. Apparently a little farther away than I had thought. Tucker Smith stands to the plate. He dumped a double down the right field line. It drove in a run in the 3-run second inning. Ohio State gave up 4 in the bottom of the first, came right back with 3 in the top of the second, just like they did in game 1. That's high out to center field. Coleman Neese is going back. He's at the track. And right in front of the wall, hauls that one in from Tucker Smith, trying to pick up his second big fly of the day. Neese played that one well. Tucker Smith gave it a ride. Not quite far enough, as it was told, 400 plus in dead center, 375 in the alleys here. Ohio State cannot take advantage of the errant throw by Taylor Head. No hits in the inning, 1 error, and 1 runner was left aboard. Go to the bottom of the third inning. Ohio State trails by 1. Lady Pioneers softball would get started on Saturday. The tournament begins tomorrow in Columbia State. Softball tournament is ahead of the baseball tournament this year. First time since I've been part of the TWC that's happened. Softball 1st through the 5th. Baseball the 5th through the 8th. So the only day they're supposed to overlap is on the 5th. Hunter Rather looks at a breaking pitch from Gabe Eddington. Backs away. Ball 1. Rather struck out in the first. One of 2 outs recorded by Ian McCord. It's jam shot, fly ball out to Hudson Blank in right field for out number 1. Tyler Husky is an RBI single. And RBI singles by Logan Wallace, Taylor Head, and Tyler Husky in that first. Logan Wallace's was a 2-run single. Braden Baker's in left, Noah Rice in center, Hudson Blank in right. Tucker Smith at third, Revin Suggs at short. Elijah Harris is playing second base. Easton Denning, an anchor there at first base. Jonathan Stewart behind the plate, catching Gabe Eddington. Two-way players, the DH and the pitcher. Second one of those we've had today. Ty Newton started game 1 for Chattanooga State as the DH. Fastball apparently above the letters. So in for the baseball tournament is number 1 Walter State, number 2 Columbia State, number 3 Cleveland State. Each of the other higher seeds have already won game 1 of their best of 3 series. Southwest Tennessee, the number 4 seed, defeated Roane State yesterday. I believe that was it is 14-11 final. Breaking pitch catches the inside corner. And a full count. Ministries full count. Chat State defeated Vol State in game 1 today, 12-10. Walk-off grand slam by Ty Newton, and Pellissippi State beat Dyersburg State 1-0. There's a ground ball fouled on the third base line. That must have been a thriller, 1-0. We scored 22 runs here. There have been nothing but bunch of runs scored in the games, 26 in the Cleveland State Motlow game, 25 in Southwest Roane, 17 yesterday in the Columbia Jackson State game 1. Full count pitch. Misses outside. On a 1-out walk. Puts Husky on first and Luke Swinney to the plate. Second walk of the game by Eddington. Swinney ended the first, grounded into a fielder's choice. Hit a ground ball to Revin Suggs at shortstop. Another one of those, and Ball State may get out of this with only facing 3 batters. Pioneers did turn a double play in game 1. It was a 5-4-3 double play. Husky, as the ball goes in the dirt, they're not going to be able to turn a conventional. That's going to be an error on Eddington. Denning could not haul that one in, and an errant pickoff attempt. The team that has stolen the least number of bases in the conference. Well, we've been thrown over like they're Columbia State. That ball's hit high. If it's fair, it's trouble. It is curling. It will leave the yard in fair territory. Luke Swinney just added 2 to Chattanooga State right down the right field line. I believe it's 335. It didn't clear it by much. Ball's already back in the field of play before Swinney touches the bases. 2-run home run by Luke Swinney. That's his second home run of the year. Back to the top of the lineup, Ben Morgan. Chat State leads 6-3. 1 out. Hard shot to Suggs, and he comes up and the ball stays down. That'll get into center field. He didn't touch it, but he sure should have. They flash an E on the scoreboard, and I do not disagree. That's an E6. Ty Newton, 0 for 1, steps to the plate. Switch hitter, batting left-handed. It's called strike on the outside corner. So the errant pickoff does not figure into the scoring. Another called strike. Newton hangs his head. Seven hits in the ball game for Chattanooga State. Couple of errors by the Pioneers here in the inning. Chopper to the right side. Harris is going to go to second for 1. I believe Suggs, they're going to call him out at second, but I'm not sure Suggs kept his foot there. They're just going to get the 1 out. I think they're lucky to get that one. Greg Dennis asking that base umpire at second base about whether or not he actually did keep his foot on there, and no change is going to be made. Schaefer lined a single into center field. Last time up, he's 1 for 2. Takes a called strike at the knees. Portland baseball is getting a new head coach. Scott Hunt, one of the sons of former Cumberland coach Woody Hunt. It's ground ball right back to Harris. He's going to flip to Suggs, and he kept his foot on the base that time. So the neither error comes back to bite the Pioneers, but the walk and the 2-run home run by Luke Swinney did. They scored 2 runs on 1 hit. There were 2 errors and 1 runner left on base. So after 3, Chat State with the 6-3 lead, and this is pretty similar to what happened in game 1, honestly. Ball State scored after Chat State scored 6 in the bottom of the first. Ball State scored 2 in the second and then 2 in the fourth to trail only 6-4. Ball State in this game trailed by 4 and then came back within a run. Then Chat State went up 8-4. So if the scenario continues, Ball State should score some runs here in the top of the fourth. We'll find out. Jonathan Stewart, Revan Suggs, and Braden Baker to face Benny Miller out for his second full inning. Breaks off a sharp slider there, and Stewart did not agree. Jonathan walked his first time to the plate. And then waves at that slider that misses outside. Jackson State season and Motlow State season is finished. After losing to Columbia State and Cleveland State today. Motlow scored a lot of runs. They hit a lot of home runs. Be interesting to see how that roster shapes up next year. Andrew Fulmer, their star shortstop, I think was getting some looks with regard to the draft this year, but we'll see what happens. Miller tried to step on a fastball there, fell off the mound toward first base and spiked the fastball. Two pitch. Chopped foul. Chattanooga State did not have a pitcher named as the pitcher of the week this year in the conference. Kind of surprising. Walter State had 2. Cleveland State 3, and it was Braden Suggs twice. Ball State Nick Gotze. Is that Full Count Ministries full count pitch? Fouled straight back at you. Pellissippi, a couple of honorees. Columbia State with a couple. Ground ball to third. Ty Newton has that hit off his chest, and he won't even throw it. Stewart's going to reach on the E5. Third error of the game for Chattanooga State. That'll bring Revan Suggs, the shortstop, freshman shortstop, to the plate. Ball State trails by 3. Good stop by Swinney behind the plate. On the hitter side, Chattanooga State didn't have a hitter either as the player of the week. Suggs takes a healthy cut there and fouls it off. Braden Baker, who's in the on-deck circle, is the current player of the week nominee for his series against Jackson State. 1-1's lifted foul and out of play. It's a Chick-fil-A Gallatin foul ball. Motlow's Jordan Watson was the previous player of the week. Trace Simmons of Pellissippi, who just recently committed to continue his play at Kennesaw State. Former full count rhythm player last summer. He was the player of the week. Breaking pitch misses down stairs. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Runner at first, nobody out. Here in the top of the 4th inning, Benny Miller on the mound. Columbia State with 4. Swing and a miss. Suggs down swinging for the second time. He was the first batter that Miller faced, and that started a string of 3 of 4 batters that he struck out. Baker, who steps to the plate, was the second strikeout victim. Miller now with 4. Dawson Sweetland calling yard card here. I didn't use one in game 1. I'm not thinking about yard cards. Got a lot of other stuff going on, so. The 0-1. This is low and away. Kerry Burke, Holden Warmath, Jordan Akins. Warmath twice. He was a co-player of the week with Holden Pantier. That's in and out of the glove. Actually, I think that got off the home plate umpire. I'm not sure if it was fouled. Apparently it was. Everybody will come in and converge on our home plate umpire, whose names I don't know, to check, make sure he's okay. And he's tapping the right side of his chest protector. You get hit right nick, right where the chest protector ends up there by your throat or your collarbone. It's not going to feel good. So Akins, Warmath twice, and Kerry Burke for Columbia State. Cleveland State twice. No, it was Nolan Sargent, who at the beginning of the year was, gangbusters, leading in home runs. He and Pantier battling in the RBI lead for the first half and battling for batting average as well. Baker takes a breaking pitch for a called strike, and that's strike 3. Not sure if somebody forgot the count. Baker doesn't normally take a pitch that far down the middle. As Benny Miller having his way with Suggs and Baker. He struck them both out twice. Eddington reached on a fielder's choice the only time he's faced Miller. He's 0 for 2 in this game. Walters Holden Pantier, player of the week twice, and he and Holden Warmath battling for player of the year. They both have had outstanding years. Holden Pantier for Walters State, 103 runs batted in. That's lined foul out of play. Chick-fil-A at Gallatin foul ball. Batting .488 is Pantier. 103 RBIs. 22 home runs. He's 3 behind his teammate Drew Blaylock, who has 25. Andrew Fulmer finished with 24 as Eddington swings through a high and tight fastball. Some of Fulmer's home runs were against either JV squads or BCA, whoever they played, that the stats don't count. So you might have seen the stats indicate that Fulmer had, 27 or 28 home runs. But there's a pitch right down the can, taken for strike 3. Not sure what Miller's throwing up there, but some of these guys just are not seeing it. The leadoff error allowed Stewart to reach, but he didn't get any farther than first base. And Ty Newton pretty happy about that. 6-3 as we head to the bottom of the 4th. Bottom of the fourth, Logan Wallace to lead off, facing Gabe Eddington, a right-hander from Clarksville. That ball's lifted out to left center field over as Baker. He's still on the run, and he makes a running, diving catch. Ends up down on his knees to take extra bases away from Wallace. 1 pitch, 1 out. Wallace now 2 for 3. Couple of singles and runs scored and 2 runs batted in. Had a bid for his third hit right there, taken away by Baker in left center field. Left-handed hitting Coleman Neese has walked twice in this game. Backs away from an inside pitch. See, the all-conference selections are out in softball. Allie Fleck for Chattanooga State, a pitcher. Caitlin Davis from Volunteer State, a pitcher. I thought that pitch might have hit Neese, but Neese picks it up and throws it back to Eddington. Ball 2. Emma McTavish, one of the top pitchers in the league for Roan State, also on the first team all-conference selection. Maddie Shinton, the utility player for Vol State. That pitch catches the outside corner. Freshman from Greenbrier, Tennessee, is a utility all-conference player. Hallie Uberoth for Chattanooga State, leading in home runs. That ball's popped up. That may be trouble. Baker coming on. Suggs going out, and he makes a nice running catch for out number 2. What a play by Revan Suggs. I'm not sure that Baker was going to be able to get to it. Put a star by both of those plays. Suggs made a nice running catch. And the first 2 retired in the bottom of the 4th. Taylor Head, 1 for 2, stands in. Nobody on. Maddie Goad, an infielder for Volunteer State. She is first team all-conference selection, and in the outfield, 3 Vol State outfielders. Wow, their entire outfield is first team all-conference. Caitlin Dillard, Abby Merle, and Anaya Dawson. Congratulations. 2 balls and no strikes. As I was looking at the all-conference first team for softball. That's drilled to left field. Baker's not getting this one, and it's right off of the fence. Head's going to cruise into second base with a 2-out double. And Vol State still can't get a 1-2-3 inning. Chattanooga State has put a runner on base every inning. It's now 13 straight innings against the Pioneers. Hunter Rather, the DH, over 2, is next. The fastball catches the outside corner. Found that on Twitter. More correctly known as X now. That's lined out to right center field. This is going to be down, and that's going to score a run, a 2-out knock, and that's going to turn into a triple for Rather. Throw comes into the plate. So a double by Taylor Head and a triple. Puts Chattanooga State up 7-3. And that will end the afternoon for Gabe Eddington, as Jim McGuire, in his 5th year with Volunteer State, is out to get the baseball. We'll tell you about the new pitcher when we return on the Vol State Sports Network. Summit Concrete call to the bullpen for Vol State. Aiden Smith from Clarksville, Tennessee. 6'1", 180-pound right-hander. Rossview High School. Sports and Leisure's his major. Son of Paul and Jeanette Smith. Paul sent in an email at treesports@gmail.com. He is the brother to Trip and Peyton, grandson of Pop and Nana in Clarksville and Papa and Mammy in Hopkinsville, Kentucky. Aiden on for his 16th appearance. It's 14th in relief. 23 innings, 27 strikeouts. Comes on with 2 outs and a runner at third, 1 run already in. That's charged to Gabe Eddington, who goes 3 innings, gives up 5 hits, 3 runs to this point, 2 walks, a strikeout, faced 17 batters. Smith will face Tyler Husky, the 8-hole hitter, here as he gets his first appearance in the play-in series. Chattanooga State trying to play add-on. Smith, the right-hander, throws a slider. They want to check down at first base to see if Husky went. First base umpire says no. It was close. Three balls and no strikes. Checking Twitter again. Ball State with another accolade. But before that, the player of the year right here from Chattanooga State, Hallie Uberoth. Pitcher of the year, Emma McTavish from Roan State. 3-0 pitch catches the inside corner. Coach of the year, Christian Lynn in his 3rd year at the helm for Volunteer State. Congratulations to Coach Lynn. Getting the Coach of the Year. There's another slider that gets in there for a called strike. Blythe Golden, the head coach here for Chattanooga State softballs, had a stranglehold on that accolade for several years. 3-2, swung on and missed. A pitch out of the strike zone, but Husky offers at it. And a strikeout ends the inning. Chat State scores 1 on 2 hits, no errors, 1 runner left on base. Ball State has some hitting to do. Trails 7-3. We'll be right back. Top of the fifth. Benny Miller's still out there for Chattanooga State. He'll face 3, 4, and 5 in the Vol State lineup. Easton Denning, Hudson Blank, and Elijah Harris. Vol State down by 4. Drilled right to the first baseman, Logan Wallace, who goes down to a knee, catches that scorched line drive. Off the bat of Easton Denning, who's now 0 for 3. Ground out, strikeout, and now a line out. One pitch, one out. It's in the broadcaster's manual. You have to say it. Hudson Blank is 0 for 1. Been hit by a pitch, been on base both times. Reached on an error by shortstop Taylor Head as he, speaking of Head, yanks that head out again on the breaking pitch. Swings and misses. More honors for the Lady Pioneers. Didn't see the second team all-conference selection. Of course, nobody from the outfield can be in the second team because the entire outfield is on the first team all-conference. But Mally Grizzle and Alyssa Dixon, 2 freshmen infielders. That's the second baseman and shortstop for the Lady Pioneers. They take second team all-conference selections. KJ Irwin, the catcher, also named second team. So that's the entire lineup. That's 9 players for Vol State. Caitlin Davis, pitcher. All 3 outfielders, Caitlin Dillard, Abby Merle, and Anaya Dawson. Maddie Shinton and Maddie Goad, first team all-conference as well. And then catcher, second and short. Second team all-conference. Hudson Blank draws a walk. There's Benny Miller's first walk of the game. Came on in relief in the first inning for Chandler Richardson and is really stemmed the tide for Chat State. Elijah Harris with 1 on and 1 out steps to the plate. 1 for 2 with a double. 5 hits on the day. See if he can make it 6 right here. Not going to. Fly ball out to right field. Husky in, and he makes the catch for out number 2. Wonder if Vol State running out of steam. A lot of energy to retake or to take the lead in game 1 after seeing 6 runs on the board in the bottom of the first in game 1. Had a 10-8 lead. Throw over to first. Blank is back. Then gave it up in the bottom of the 9th on a grand slam home run by Ty Newton. Then gave up 4 in the bottom of the first here in game 2. That's a pop-up in the infield. Who wants it? Taylor Head says, I want it, and he's going to catch it. No runs, no hits, no errors. 1 runner left aboard. It's getting late here early. Head to the bottom of the 5th. We'll be right back. Aiden Smith back out on the mound to face 9-1-2 for the Chat State Tigers. Swinney, a 2-run home run last time he came to the plate. Not going to do it here, though. Nobody's on base. He's been on base a lot today, though. A lot of walks, hit by pitches in game one. And he looks at a called strike on another delayed strike call. Swinney, 3 walks and a hit by pitch in game one. Ended the first inning on a ground out. And a 2-run home run in the third. Two 2-1 pitch coming from Smith, who pitches from the stretch. Now 3 balls and a strike. So Aiden Smith on the mound, Tucker Smith at third. Breaking pitch catches the outside corner. Swinney, he's going to have to come back, retrieve his equipment in a full count. Ministries full count. Grounds one foul off the Chat State dugout. Ball State can get a comeback victory here. Game 3 will be right back here tomorrow at noon Eastern, 11 Central Time. Another foul ball over to the tennis courts. We're on the campus of Chattanooga State off the Amnicola Highway. Nothing else around. Tennessee River's pretty close. Pretty happening town now, Chattanooga. They got a brand new ballpark for the Chattanooga Lookouts. Saw it lit up yesterday. Swinney now takes his walk. Ian McCourt started, went 2/3 of an inning, 4 hits, 4 runs. They were earned. Did not walk a batter, struck out 1. Did plunk a batter, faced 8. Gabe Eddington, 3 innings, 5 hits, 3 runs. They were earned, walked 2, struck out 1. He faced 17 batters. Now Aiden Smith to the top of the lineup, Ben Morgan, and breaks off that curveball right over the plate. Morgan is 1 for 3 in this game. Pioneer pitching has calmed him, and that ball's lifted out to left field. Baker back. He's still going back, and he leaps. It hits off his glove. They're going to stop Swinney at third. That's a hard play, but I got to believe Baker's got to make that play. See how they roll it a hit on the scoreboard here. I'll put a hit on mine, but I'll have a question mark by it. Infield's drawing in. Nobody out. Second and third. Newton 0 for 2. Takes ball 1. He was concerned about that fence for sure. He was either on the warning track or getting close to it. Concerned about it and not concentrating as much on that ball. And I've played the outfield. It's very understandable. Expecting contact with the fence. You don't get it and the ball pops out of your glove. Newton hadn't seen anything close to resembling a strike. 3 balls, no strikes. Ball State can't afford to let this get any further out of hand, and a big inning by Chat State, and the ball game's going to be over. There's a strike at the letters. They're 6 runs away from a run rule. They've done it once today. Scored 6 in an inning. Another breaking pitch that lands low. And the bases are loaded. 2 walks and a double in the inning. Trevor Mootsie out as Jack Lester is warming in the Vol State bullpen. Got a bunch of pitchers injured for the Pioneers. See if I can go through the list. Nick Gotze is injured. Owen Boswell. R.J. Moore. Jake Truitt. All injured and not on the trip. So a limited pitching staff for sure for Vol State. Tyler Schaefer, 1 for 3, steps to the plate with bases loaded, nobody out. Middle infield back in double play depth. Corners are in. At this point would be not happy, but would trade 2 outs for a run and hope the batters can make it up. Nearly gets to the backstop. Don't know how Stewart stopped that one. Smith was coming in thinking it was going to the backstop to cover the plate. Pretty decent area behind home plate all the way to the backstop. That's a base hit in the right field too. See if they're going to send the runner. Blank's got the ball. His throw is right to the relay man, so they'll only score 1. Schaefer picks up another hit and an RBI. Swinney, who led off the inning with a walk, comes in to score. That'll bring up Logan Wallace. Hit a deep fly ball out to left field. Braden Baker had to make a running catch. He swings at the first pitch, grounds it to the right side. Elijah Harris can't get a handle on it. That'll be an infield single. And another run, still nobody out. Hit a screaming Mimi out to left center field and get a fly out. Hit a little dribbler to the right side and pick up an RBI infield single. 2 runs in the inning bring up Coleman Neese. As I said, they're now 4 runs. He's the winning run at the plate. Ten runs after 5 is the run rule or the mercy rule in the playoffs. That wasn't that way for the regular season. Chopper to the right side again. Harris charges, and he's not going to be able to make that play. It'll be an E4. Bases remain loaded. Give Neese an RBI as Newton comes in to score. And Jim McGuire out of the dugout. We'll have a pitching change. Tell you about Jack Lester momentarily. Summit Concrete call to the bullpen. Jack Lester, 6'1", 205-pound sophomore. He's a right-hander from Collierville, Tennessee, Collierville High School. He'll graduate with a degree in psychology, Lord willing, here in May. Son of Blaine and Gina Lester, brother to Mackenzie and Sadie, grandson of Granddaddy and Grandmama in the Villages in Florida, Papa Hop and Gigi. They're in Collierville, Tennessee. Lester on in relief of Aiden Smith, who goes 1/3 of an inning. He's got 3 hits, 3 runs to this point, 2 walks, strikeout, faced 7 batters. Lester committed to continue playing at Christian Brothers University down in Memphis, D2 school, playing in the Gulf South Conference, I believe. Taylor Head comes to the plate. He's 2 for 3. And the winning run is on at first base. That's Coleman Neese. 10-run rule is Chat has already scored 3 in the inning. Lester has that one grounded up. Elijah Harris going to step on second for 1, on to first for a due-det double play. A run does score. No RBI to Head. But now 2 outs. And the winning run at the plate. Nice hop there as a swing and a miss by Rather. Nice hop off the mound. It went right to Elijah Harris, who was right behind home plate. Right behind second base. Nice job by Jonathan Stewart to keep the run from scoring. Rather's the 8th batter to come to the plate. 3 hits in the inning. One of those hits could have been caught. Would have taken more than an average effort. There's a ground ball to Suggs. He bobbles, and he's not going to get him. It's going to be another error and another run that scores. No RBI to Rather. That's the 2nd error of the inning. 4th error on Fall State. Tyler Husky takes a called strike. Breaking pitch in there for strike 2. 5 runs in the inning, 1 more and the game's over. Husky 1 for 2, single, drove in a run in the first, walked and scored in the third, struck out to end the fourth. Another right-hander loosening down in the Vol State bullpen. Looks like it might be Tyler Zeligman. Fouled into the parking lot. Count remains 2 balls and 2 strikes. Couple of errors, couple of walks, and dink and dunk, infield singles. Next thing you know, it's 5 runs. Somebody's going to have to get on that one. This ball game is going to end. That's going to get into the gap, and here comes the winning run to home plate, and that is your ball game. Tyler Husky, a walk-off double. as Hunter Rather comes in to score an unearned run, but it ends the ball game. Vol State season ends as Chat State gets the 13-3 victory here in game 2. Vol State falls to 21-30 overall. Chat State 31-15. They will move on. So the 2, 3, and 5 seeds have joined the number 1 seed. Walters State in a game that takes 1 hour and 52 minutes to complete. Losing pitcher is Ian McCord. He falls to 2-7. And the winning pitcher, I believe, is Benny Miller, who finishes up 4 innings, does not allow a run or a hit. No hits, no runs. Benny Miller, I don't know what his record is. No save in the game. Vol State had a chance to win game 1. Let it slip away in the bottom of the 9th. And just could not get their feet underneath them here in game 2. And that will end the season for Vol State. And that will end the broadcast here on the YouTube channel. Glad I was able to make the trip here and bring you the sights and sounds, at least, although it did not go Vol State's way. It was been my pleasure to bring you the games this year, all year long. Thank you to I already gave you a goodbye the other day, and I won't do it again here, but I appreciate all of you that have checked in on the tresports@gmail.com, and keep that for future reference. If you want to get a hold of me, let's get our Toyota Gallatin player of the game right after our Full Count Ministries verse of the game. John 6:35, our final verse of the year. Then Jesus declared, I am the bread of life. Whoever comes to me will never go hungry. Whoever believes in me will never be thirsty. That's John 6:35 in our Full Count Ministries verse of the game. Our Toyota Gallatin player of the game. Going to be tough on this one. Had 3 hits in 1 inning. I'll tell you what, we're not going to have one. We're not going to have one for this one. It's going to be all you fans that have shown up, and folks that have made the road trips. You guys are the Toyota Gallatin fans of the game. Vol State falls 12-10 in game 1 and 13-3 to Chat State, who will go on to play in the 6-team tournament May 5th through 8th. For Dr. Wendy Tossenson, the president of Volunteers State, super fan, and for Athletic Director Bobby Hudson and Assistant Athletic Director Justin McKinney, Head Coach Jim McGuire, this is Tim Reese saying God bless you. Thank you for watching our final edition of Vol State Baseball right here on the Vol State Sports Network. God bless you.